Class, welcome to week 4. We are getting into the thick of it now. We'll transition this week away from learning about business models and coming up with business ideas. You'll notice the project 1 is due this week, and that's really sort of the stamp on your business idea. If you submit project 1 and then you want to change your business idea, you're certainly welcome to. Project 1 is just a framework to help you decide on a product and a business model. Now we're going to transition to actually putting that model together and creating the business, starting with a website. And that will be project 2 that we'll get into later this week is to create the site. The assignments this week are there to help you prepare for that. So you have choosing a site builder and choosing a host are the 2 topics we will get into. So let's jump into choosing a site builder. Think of your website. It's important to distinguish between a site builder and a host. If you compare it to a physical business, a bricks and mortar business, your host, the hosting that you purchase is the land that you will build on. That's the place that people will go online where you will put content. The site builder is the physical building. It's what people see. And that's how I distinguish between the two. And so a site builder is going to help you construct the actual site. There are 3 different levels of site building that we will cover in this course that we want you to consider. You don't have to assess all 3. They're just categorized to help you understand the different options. Number 1 is a drag and drop builder. And so we have Weebly and Wix are the examples used on here, but there are many others excuse me, that allow you to just build a simple website. Usually, most of them come with templates, and you can, as the name suggests, drag and drop content very quickly into these. So if you want to take a look through Weebly and Wix, if you don't have experience building a site, I highly recommend a drag and drop builder. They're very intuitive, simple to use. They'll give you all of the content you need to be successful in the course. The next is a content management system, and so this requires some knowledge of coding, and not a lot. You don't have to build the website from scratch, but it is a little bit more complex. Along with that, you get a more robust platform, and the ones we've highlighted here are WordPress, Squarespace, and Shopify. WordPress is by far the most popular choice here, and I will tell you candidly, I don't love WordPress for the purposes of this course. I haven't had as many issues in the last 2 or 3 semesters, but for a long time, students have had trouble integrating Google Analytics and Google Ads with WordPress. I've built websites, I've managed websites in WordPress. I know it's possible to do it. It's just a little complex and a little glitchy. Maybe they've improved in the past year or so because I haven't seen as many, but I do not recommend WordPress to students unless you've been in that space before, you've integrated Google Analytics, and you're comfortable with it. The last type is building a website from scratch, and so using something like Dreamweaver. You are certainly welcome to do that. It's obviously a lot more work. The advantage to that is complete customization of the site. I have used Dreamweaver in the past to build sites. It is liberating to be able to do whatever you'd like with the code and not be limited by a content management system or a drag and drop builder. But of course, you need to be prepared to put in the work to do that. So for this assignment, you will do a quantify and compare spreadsheet and use 3 criterion to do that, to compare the different options. Again, it doesn't have to be a comparison of drag and drop builders, content management systems, and a build from scratch website. This is your comparison to 3 different products or 3 different platforms. So WordPress versus Wix versus Weebly or something like that. Then you will write an essay about comparing those three tools. State which one you chose and why you chose it, and make sure it's at least 150 words in length. So that is your site builder. Reach out if you have questions. Make sure whatever you choose, especially with these drag and drop builders, you're usually purchasing different levels, and you don't typically need the high end, but you do need a payment function in there. And we'll get into this later in the website requirements, but you'll need either a credit card payment function, or you'll need some integration of PayPal, or something that allows you to set up affiliate links or advertising with Google, with AdSense, Google AdSense on the site. So you'll need some form of revenue generation, and think about that a little bit as you're choosing a site. A site builder. All right, so let's go to choosing a host. Please pay close attention as you're purchasing a site builder. Many site builders have gone ahead and offer hosting on their platform. So if you purchase a site through Wix, you are actually purchasing both the site builder and hosting. So there's no need to purchase a separate host company for your website, because Wix has integrated those two. Other platforms have not. WordPress, for example, will allow you to choose a separate host for your website. So pay close attention to that as you're looking at a site builder. Sometimes you're purchasing both at once, and sometimes you need to purchase them separately. Regardless of what you choose to do, it's important to understand the difference between a site builder and a host. They are two separate products, whether you purchase them from the same company. And as I mentioned, a company like Wix, you typically won't even know the difference. You'll just purchase a site builder and it will be up and running, and you've actually purchased hosting at the same time without realizing it. So this will be a very similar assignment to the choosing a site builder assignment. You'll go through and research different hosting companies, Bluehost, HostGator, many others come to mind, and you can do your own research on those. These links will help you research those. And then you'll do a quantify and compare spreadsheet with 3 alternatives and 3 criterion, and then you'll answer the following questions in a Word document. Hosting typically comes with a lot of perks. And I will say I've used a lot of different host companies, and I have not seen a huge difference in the performance. Typically, host companies are there to make sure your website is online and available. While every website might have technical difficulties at times, I haven't run into a lot of issues with hosts. I don't have one host company that you should stay away from, or one that's done a great job. To me, it's really a question of their customer service and their accessibility, and then the perks that they offer, because the product itself, in my experience, has been very similar across different hosting companies. They make sure your site is online and accessible and runs fast, and unless you're doing a massive site with a lot of media on it, then your site's probably going to run fairly quickly and fairly consistently, regardless of the host that you choose. You will, of course, have discussion boards on each of those. Project 1 is due midweek, and then your discussion board responses for choosing a host are due at the end of the week, along with your reflection. We will end this screencast talking about Project 2. Project 2 is where you will actually get in and launch your site. And there are these 5 tasks to complete. The video examples are great, and I'll let you read through those. It's really just about getting a site builder and hosting and creating the site. I think what helps simplify this project is to look at the criterion on which you'll be graded. When you submit it, I'm really looking for 3 things. Number 1, you need an independent domain name. That will be purchased through your hosting company or through your site builder. But for example, if you choose a free website option through Wix, and so let's say you're launching the website tshirts.com, a free website through Wix will say tshirt.wix.com, or through Weebly it will say tshirt.weebly.com. That is not an independent domain name, and that will create problems later on in the course with Google Analytics and with Google Ads and other things. So you need your own independent domain name. You do have to purchase this. It's typically very low cost, $10 a year or something like that, depending on where you purchase it from. So the domain name is low cost, but you do need an independent domain name. Going back to my previous example, it should say tshirts.com instead of anything else thrown into the name. Then for your design, you need most of the most of the necessary pages. So an about us, a contact us, a product page, a home page, etc. You need most of the necessary pages. You need links between those pages, and some attempt at design. Help me know where you're going with the design. Excuse me, is really what I'm looking for. It doesn't have to be polished and perfect. I just need to see where you're going with the design. And then you need, as I mentioned before, an integration with a third party to enable financial transactions. That's worded in a very specific way to allow you the freedom to set up whatever works for your business, whether it's PayPal or another credit card platform or Google AdSense or an affiliate link or anything like that will allow for financial transactions to happen on your website. I just need to see when I go through and grade where that financial transaction is coming from. If you're struggling with your affiliate links or your affiliate agreement and you need to get this up and running, you can even put up a PayPal button that that allows donations to your site. Now, don't be too concerned about this week. We will go through an actual assignment that shows you how to do a credit card system on your site through PayPal. So this will be an actual assignment that we will cover. So if you don't have that knowledge right now, don't be concerned. We'll walk you through it from the beginning on up. So that's it. If you got all three of those, you'll get 100% on this project. If you've got two out of those three, you'll have 88 points. And if you have only one out of those three, you'll get 70 points. So I think it's easiest to break down this project into those three things. That's what I'm looking for. Here are the tasks to ensure that you have that ready to go. And that will be it for this week. Please reach out if you've got questions about the site builder, hosting, anything like that I can answer for you. Beginnings of Project 2. Project 2 is not due this week. It's due in the coming weeks. But again, just like Project 1, it is good to start on that early on. So thanks everybody, and hopefully we'll chat this week in more detail about site builder or hosting.